Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of CLILAdHoc fully dedicated to basketball, a sport we all love and a lifestyle for many. The referee has just called a jump off to start the episode with, so let's jump! From the linguistics point of view, basketball is a compound word composed by the words basket and ball, yet its meaning doesn't refer to a container for balls, but to a sport that is loved and played worldwide by younglings and adults as well. From the etymological point of view, these two lexemes must be considered separately. On one end, the word basket comes from the Anglo-French bascat, a word of obscure origin used in the early 13th century. On one theory, such word might be originated from the Latin mascauda, meaning kettle or table vessel. On the other hand, ball probably originates from the unrecorded Old English bell, spelled B-E-A-L or double L, or from the Old Norse cognate bollr, spelled B-O-L-L-R, derived from the Proto-Germanic ballus, and even earlier from Proto-Indo-European root bell, meaning to blow, like when inflating a ball to play with. But let's get to some history right now. James Naismith was a 13-year-old graduate student teaching physical education at the International YMCA Training School, now known as Springfield College in Springfield, Massachusetts, when students were forced to stay indoor for days due to the weather conditions. The usual winter athletic activities weren't nearly as thrilling as the sports played during the warmer seasons. Naismith wanted to create a game that would be simple to understand but complex enough to be interesting, other than being playable indoors by several students at once, yet without injuring them. Next, Naismith approached the school janitor, hoping he could find 2 square boxes to use for goals. And when the janitor came back from his search, he had 2 peach baskets instead, to be nailed to the lower rail of the gymnasium balcony, one on each side. Needless to say, the first basketball match was a complete brawl. Rules had to be made, and gradually this sport became what is today. A multi-billion industry. And the rest, as they say, is history. I guess we must all thank our beloved teachers who put their souls in their profession for the sake of the students and ultimately for the future itself. Thank you, teachers, for the incredible job you do every day. Lexicon and slang. Each well-established activity has its own slang. But what's a slang, one may ask? Simply put, a slang consists of a very informal language that is usually spoken rather than written, and used especially by particular groups of people, in this case by fans and players alike. Here are some examples of basketball slang for you to use with your team and friends. Airball, slang for when a shot misses the basket or the backboard entirely. Alley-oop, when one player throws a pass to a player who is in mid-air and dunks the ball into the basket without first landing on the court. And one, slang term used when a player scores a basket and is fouled on the play, earning 2 points and 1 free throw attempt. Bank shot, a shot aimed at the backboard so that it bangs into the basket. Double-double, term for when a player reaches double digits in 2 stat categories in a single game. For example, 10 plus points and 10 plus rebounds. Give and go, an offensive tactic in which a player passes to a teammate, then makes an abrupt cut and receives a return pass. MVP, the most valuable player award, which is given to the best player in a game. This term is an acronym when the initial letters of words are pronounced as a word. Slam dunk, a high jump shot in which the ball is thrust down through the hoop. Violation, a simple infraction of the rules. Now, to stick to linguistics, Some of these terms fall outside the domain of normal literal language and are part of what is usually called figurative or imaginative language. For instance, we can now rest assured that a bank shot doesn't imply any gangster shooting to an actual bank, so to speak. It is a field widely studied both linguistically and psychologically. Let me know who's your favorite basketball player in the comment section down below. Speaking of which, nowadays some of the top players are His Majesty Michael Jordan, also known as Air Jordan or His Airness, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Stephen Curry, a mere mortal in stature who slays giants from a distance, Shaquille O'Neal, who's also a rapper, Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace, Diana Taurasi, Her Majesty, Tamika Catchings, Maya Moore, Candace Parker, also known as Ace, Lisa Leslie. Rules. The first 13 rules were published on January 15, 1892 in the Springfield College School newspaper, The Triangle. As you can imagine, basketball rules have evolved significantly since the early years. Here are some differences happened along the years. Dribbling. Originally, players couldn't run with the ball. Dribbling was later introduced, allowing players to advance the ball by bouncing it. Fouls. Physical contact was initially forbidden. Modern rules define different types of fouls, including personal fouls, technical fouls, and flagrant fouls. Scoring. Early rules didn't specify point values for shots. Now there are shots that are worth 1, 2, and 3 points. Team size. Originally, teams had 13 players. Today, teams consist of 5 players on the court at a time. Pop culture. Whether you want to dig some movies or TV series, you totally don't want to miss, among others, Slam Dunk, Hoops and Dreams. Nice play on words by the way here for hopes and dreams. Air. He got game, an idiomatic expression referring to someone who's naturally very skilled or talented at a certain game or sport. And Coach Carter, props to Samuel L. Jackson's acting skills. If you feel like reading the words from a professional basketball coach, you might want to buy La Bici del Basket by Dan Peterson. In the early 2000s, Mason Gordon sketched on a napkin the idea for a sport that would break out of the box. It is similar to basketball, but with trampolines. You got it right. I am talking about slam ball. As you can imagine, even the word slam ball is a compound word, just like basketball, which originally included an hyphen between the two words themselves. Slam ball is composed by slam and onomatopoeia, that is to say, words that imitate sounds of extra-linguistic reality, or simply put, an acoustic imitation of an acoustic phenomena, and ball. Onomatopoeias are also very common in the language of comics. That include bang, sniff, crash, gulp, and so many more. This project was abandoned in 2004, but revived and exported to Italy in 2007, where it aired on Italia 1 and GXT. Those were the good old days, people. Those were the good old days. When a player is fouled, it does not receive free throws, but a face-off, a one-on-one challenge between the fouler and the fouled. There are 4 players on the court, divided into 1 stopper, 2 gunners, and 1 handler, that is to say the playmaker. Fantastic facts. Here are some fantastic facts to conclude the episode with. LeBron James takes the lead and passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the all-time leader with 42,184 points. Wow! The Detroit Pistons scored 186 points against the Denver Nuggets in December 1983. That is the most points ever scored in an NBA game by one team. The Harlem Globetrotters are a famous American basketball team known for their amazing athletic skills and for making people laugh. They combine sports with theater, fun, and comedy in their games. The Globetrotters have played over 26,000 games in 124 countries. The team also starred in movies and TV shows like Hell's Kitchen and Man vs. Food Nation, and appeared also as special guests in cartoons such as The Simpsons and Futurama. Now go shoot some hoops and don't forget to share this episode with your friends. Catch you all in the next episode. One has got to give credit where credit is due. The jingle is La Caccia by the Italian composer Antonio Vivaldi and performed by the Orchestra da Camera Modena and available in Creative Commons and Public Domain 1.0. Don't forget to follow LinguaDoc on Instagram. I'll leave all the links in the description.